looking at 8 years of construction so far, and honestly, several more to go. Here's a look at the Waco district for TxDOT, the map. It goes all the way from Hillsborough all the way down to Salado. This is one of the issues that we're talking about. This doorway should be at 32 inches. It's only at about 30, and that means that a wheelchair can't get down this hallway. They're putting these together, and this is what's going to line the procession in honor of Trooper Damon Allen. I'm going to step out of the frame. I'm going to step behind the camera and kind of pan around. At the McKenzie, I have to tell you, there's been a lot of cheering here at the Phoenix Ballroom tonight. Joining me now is Barry Johnson. You're up right now. How are you feeling? I think this is the first time I've ever been on a roof for a story before. Let me show you. There's I-35 right there. We're right at Bubba's 33 in Waco. Let's go, let's go, let's go. 2-year-old Xavier is full of energy.
And he'll go up and down 50,000 times.
And hard to keep up with.
I just sat down.
But his mom, Jennifer Duncan, doesn't mind.
It's more enjoyable because I get to actually move with him. So that's the fun part.
One she missed for quite a while.
We'd only stay for like a little while because then I would get kind of depressed or tired, not being able to do stuff with him. Come up this way.
Going to the park once a week is a new normal for Jennifer and her son, but she never thought it would be possible again.
I didn't think we would survive that, but we did.
On May 16th, 2016, Jennifer's life changed forever. It was a rainy morning. She was taking her son to daycare when she got into a fender bender on I-35. She was standing on the side of the road waiting for first responders when a truck was sent right in her direction. Knocked her off the bridge while she was holding Xavier.
When I seen the truck coming towards us, there wasn't enough time between that and falling to have any thought. There was no thought process.
She created a human cocoon, breaking the fall to save Xavier.
I guess I just grabbed onto him as tight as I could, and I just kept praying, please just, if anything, just let him live. Don't let me live, just let him live.
He only had a scratch, but Jennifer had major injuries. Several fractures, shattered her pelvis, and lost her leg. But she persevered through dozens of surgeries, battles with insurance, and for one reason, her son.
Can you color? Color? Good job.
And now, thanks to the Steps of Faith Foundation, she's back on her feet.
I'm really thankful for their donations and their help. It's made my life a lot better.
She's learning how to walk again, this time with a prosthetic.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
And her son thinks so too.
And he just lit up. Like, he had the biggest smile on his face, and he went, wow, cool.
Now at their weekly trips to the park, Jennifer is trying new things right alongside her son.
I can honestly say I'm happier because I get to walk around with my baby and do these things that I didn't think I'd be able to do again, but I'm finally able to do them.
Using every bit of this second chance at life, taking steps together, always pushing forward. Reporting in Temple, Taylor Durden, Central Texas News Now. As the wind blows along the Brazos, the Baylor Crew Club is getting ready to set sail.
And roll.
But before they do,
we need a name for this boat.
Benjamin Aaron is a member of the Crew Club. He says not naming a boat could be bad luck.
Whenever we race with these boats, we do it in their honor. And we feel that gives us a little bit of an oomph whenever it gets down to it.
So after the Lau family donated funds for a new boat for the fleet, Aaron got to thinking.
Not having a name for a boat really just kind of subtracts from it.
He heard about a World War II veteran who served at Baylor. He said it was in that moment he knew the boat's name.
We need to ensure that not only what he did at Baylor, but especially overseas in the Eastern Theater of Operations during World War II, should never be forgotten. It's a testament to who we are.
For Aaron, it's not just his pride for Baylor, it's his pride for his country. Before joining this crew, he was on another crew.
I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps, and it was a good experience.
So he came up with a name.
The Irvin Davis.
And today, Davis's twin brother, Irwin, who served in the war with him, is here in his place.
The Irvin Davis.
Yeah, the one and only.
He would be so pleased.
Davis was a barber at Baylor for 56 years.
Had a very successful career as a barber. He sure did.
He died last month.
We're still trying to deal with his passing. You know, it happened so suddenly.
The Irvin Davis was put in the water for the first time.
Look at that. Just beyond what I expected.
A special day.
Mr. Davis, this is Emily. She's one of our novice rowers, and
Okay,
she
thank you.
actually painted something for you to take home to commemorate this boat. So it's a picture of the Irvin Davis for you. So sweet.
That is so good. My, in every detail.
The Irvin Davis will live on in the hearts of many, and his memory will keep sailing on the Brazos River. Reporting in Waco.
Never underestimate what one man can do.
Taylor Durden, Central Texas News Now. As lights reflected off homes near 7th and Garland last night in Waco, people who lived there reflected on what happened.
This black truck comes hauling through here going about 100. I know he was doing at least 100. I went, what? Next thing we know, the police was behind him.
Police say that truck was stolen and 4 people escaped. Pedraza called her son, who lives around the corner, to warn him about what was happening.
We locked down everything we could except the one window.
A window he says 2 people tried to use to get into his house.
And I don't think they seen me because they were still trying to come in. So I banged on the wall real hard and they stopped what they were doing and exited that away.
It's something Knight can't seem to stop thinking about.
If I would have sat down with my family and watched TV, these suspects would have came into my house and then don't know what they would have done.
Police say they caught 2 people, 23-year-old Don Xavier Jamar Thompson and a 15-year-old girl whose name police won't release. They arrested them for theft. Then, not long after that, police say someone was getting into a white pickup truck when a third suspect saw an opportunity to move.
The third suspect was able to overpower the owner of the truck, stole the second, what now we know now is the second truck, and was effectively driving away with the owner hanging out of that truck.
Driving right towards 9 officers who fired at the truck, the suspect, 19-year-old Dravondrick Johnson, was not hurt. Police say Johnson hit 2 police vehicles before crashing and being arrested. He's facing a number of charges, including 9 counts of aggravated assault against a peace officer. For Pedraza, it's still a shock.
Because nothing like this happens around here.
Reporting in Waco,
it's really a quiet neighborhood.
Taylor Durden, Central Texas News Now. The bow and arrow are helping Rory Barris stay focused on his target.
I want to get back to where I can go hunting.
He missed last season, and he's missed the last 8 months of work as an EMT too.
I got to get back to work, and that's my whole goal is I got to get back to work.
A goal he's keeping his eyes on despite everything changing in an instant one night at work.
It was normal. I mean, it was my Friday.
His wife Amy made dinner on August 19th, 2017. She put it in the fridge for Rory to eat when he got home, but he never came home.
About 3:30, we got a report of an unknown injury traffic accident.
Rory and his partner headed to Imperial and Loop 340. As they were clearing the scene, a car driving down the highway wasn't stopping. So he yelled at his partner to run.
And just kept yelling at her. And I remember running up behind her and doing this motion, and I turned around and ran back the other way.
He, too, tried to avoid the car, but couldn't.
I remember sliding across the freeway and hearing all the grinding noises, and everything stopped. And when everything stopped, I was just laying there. And then I just yelled, ah, just yelled.
As Rory was doing his job caring for others, he suddenly ended up on the receiving end of that.
Everybody started yelling my name and running to me.
He went into emergency surgery for bleeding in his pelvis, the first of 16 surgeries for several fractures to his lower half. 16 surgeries in 5 months. Through it all, his wife, a nurse, was by his side.
I was very honest with him. explaining to him what was going on.
Surgery after surgery, she says his positive attitude never changed.
What it comes down to is, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You have.
If you stay positive, it helps out a lot of different ways.
You have to get through it.
But I mean, you can ask a lot of different people, and they'll tell you that that's just how I've always been.
After surgery 14, his leg wasn't getting better.
And I was devastated, just devastated, because we thought that it was going the other way.
Doctors said amputating his leg was the best option, so they agreed.
That's what it came down to, was quality of life.
It was like a new world. I felt great. I was ready to go. I mean, if I could have ran, I'd have ran out of there. I felt like $1 million.
His other physical wounds started to heal quickly. He was released from the hospital just in time for Christmas, but the emotional wounds were still fresh.
But the last time I was in this house, I was walking, and now I come home and I don't have a leg. It was harder than I expected it. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew things were going to be changing. I knew things would be difficult. But I really didn't know the extent of it until I got home.
But he's not letting it stop him from moving forward.
There's not much that I cannot do.
He's gained strength back to walk, standing without help, and getting outside to refocus his eyes on his next target, getting a prosthetic leg so he can get back to helping others.
I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it enough to get hit by a car and want to go back.
But he and his wife also want to make sure what happened to him doesn't happen again to anyone.
Even distracted drivers are killing our first responders. So something has to change.